Time I looked, the castings were really wet, and I'm still doing the migration method to get the red wigglers to migrate over. So let's see how it's going in here. Just fed one side of the bin. Wow. I have worms dying in here. Look how wet this is. I'm gonna go ahead and fix it. This shouldn't be like that. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but I'm going to try to save these bad boys. And my plan too is to dry this out. There's no drainage holes in this bin, so that is why there's so much moisture in it. But the worms came over to the side to feed on some food. So I got a wheelbarrow that I'm going to pour them into and see what's left. But these, like I said, this bin is so stinking wet. I don't know why. Is it the type of bin it is? But at least the worms migrated over. Alright, just by putting the castings in the sun, they're a lot drier. I have to wait a few more days for this to dry out so I can use my sifter. But here's the worms that are about to go back into their red wiggler worm bin. They produce these castings quick compared to I don't know, the weather must be making a huge difference on them because they're consuming these food scraps really quick, which is good because I'm ready to get some castings for my plants. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready to prepare these guys with some more fresh bedding pretty soon. So I'm going to put the food scraps on this other side of the bin. But yeah, they're multiplying like crazy. So let's give them some food scraps, which I have froze and thawed out. So a lot of bananas. A lot of bananas. So there they go. That's enough to hold them over for a few days. Cover it up with the bedding. My worms have gotten bigger. They're looking good. The Euros are thick once again. I like thick worms, and I cannot lie about that. Not gonna say the name of the real song. Yeah, I got my worms are doing well in here. Let me give them some food scraps as well. I think I'm going to feed this side this week. I'm going to feed them over here. Yeah, let me put it right there. The same as usual. There's a couple of eggshells in here that didn't get grounded up, but I'm going to keep them in there anyway. So there they are. There goes some banana peels, some paper. Let's cover this bedding back up. and let my worms get back down to business. Someone just asked me a question if I had experienced maggots in my bin, and the answer is no, because what I'm doing is I'm feeding my food scraps and thawing them out once again, because that will help kill any type of pest that's on my food scraps. And I don't put any type of meats or dairy products inside this bin. It's just strictly food scraps. But the castings are looking good. So let me go ahead and give these guys some food scraps. All right. We got bananas, some paper, and like I said in one of my previous videos, I'm starting to pack their lunches. Add a little bit more banana peels in here. Give them some grit. Put that right there. Cover it up with some bedding. And the moisture in this bedding will also help to allow the worms to get into the food scraps. Lots of castings once again. They are going to need new bedding once again. And since the weather has gotten a lot nicer and warmer, they are devouring food scraps and making castings. So I have a question for you. How often do you feed your worms? And what is the main food source that you give to your worms? Put this right here. I'm going to just move this other bedding to the side and feed this side over here, because these castings are ready to be harvested. So let me feed them real quick. All right. Stuff is frozen and thawed out. Got to find a nice spot because I don't want to freeze them with these food scraps. I think this would be a good place to camp. There they go. There's some banana peels, some orange peels. Put a few peppers in there as well. So I think these guys are good to go. So I'm going to bury it up with some bedding. Put my newspaper back on top. Yeah, look at those castings as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nice castings. See what's going on this side. Their food scraps are gone as well, majority of them. So let's go ahead and give them a nice feeding too. I'm going to put some dry paper on here. And pack their lunch for this week. Because this stuff has a lot of moisture on it. So let's do that. And I noticed too that this would be a good bait method because they're going to come to this packed lunch. It's going to be easier to find your worms because they're going to be all up in this paper. So let's fold it up. Cover it up with some bedding. I just purchased 60 eggs for around $5 and some tax. And the thing I like about this is that it is the cardboard container that I'm going to feed to my worms. And the 60 eggs that I had at least 5 of these dozen container holders. And I had 5 of them, so I'll put the 60 and 5 of these. And now I'm going to feed this to my worms. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. So let's see. Castings galore. And what I'm going to do is push all these over to the side. See what's going on this side over here. Wormies. Wormies. It smells like oranges in here. Citrusy. It smells good. You're probably thinking that's gross, but no, it smells good. I'm not going to lie to you. So let me break these cardboard containers down real quick and give them some more food scraps. Alright, I got the egg cartons tore up by hand. Some toilet paper rolls. Let's go ahead and, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pack your lunch. This stuff was frozen. So there's some banana peels, some oranges, some napkins. If you're throwing napkins in your trash can, stop doing that. Your worms eat that, so save that. So there they go, some orange peels, some, like I said, banana peels, a couple more, some peppers. Let's give them a little grit. Okay. Cover it up with some shredded cardboard and newspaper. I'm going to wet it down. Let me get my sprayer primed. Let's get it wet. But since there's moisture in here from the frozen fruit scraps, the worms will not have any problems getting to the food, so the bed won't be too dry for them. So there they go. I'm going to cover it up with some newspaper. Gotta get a couple more extra pieces to cover the other side up. With this, I packed your lunch, put it on newspaper, and there they are. They're on this side. So yeah, The method worked. There it is. If you want to bait them, you can go that route. There's a lot of worms over there. It's nice and moist, so I'm going to give them some dry bedding and fresh bedding as well. So, let's put that there. Give them a little grit. Food scrap. Let me add a little more cardboard as well to help with the moisture. Did it again. Epic fail. Phone was in the worm bin. I said don't feed them your phone, but maybe if this was an apple, they would eat it. Pum-pum-pum. No, but seriously, be careful when you're videoing your worms because you could drop your phone in there. I'm glad he's wearing a bunch of piranhas. I would have been screwed. But lower them down. Look at all those food scraps. I got some peppers. Some bananas. Some napkins. So I'm going to cover the bedding up. I'll cover the food scraps up with some bedding. It's been a crazy week. My AC stopped cooling the house down. It is hotter than the dickens. It's like 88 degrees out of thermostat. The guy won't be able to come in to fix it till next week. So within a couple of days, he should be here. So I don't know what's inside this bin. But I don't need any sympathy. It's going to get fixed. So we got fans going and we're just surviving as of right now. This bin's still moist, so it's not drying out, which is a good sign. Yeah, I thought the bin might dry out from it being so warm, but no, it's got a lot of moisture in it. Worms are looking great. Let's go ahead and feed them. Feed them in the middle. Gotta give them some banana peels, whatever we had. So like I said, I froze this and then I thawed it out. So there they go. There's some banana peels, some peppers, some seeds. Let's go ahead and give them some paper as well. But I'm just glad to see everything's going well with the worms. So they're good to go. I'm going to cover them back up with some bedding. This bin's dry from the bedding on top. But man, there's a lot of fruit flies, which I don't know why, but I'm going to fix that. I'm going to cover it up. So we're going to fix that. Put some more newspaper on top. Yeah, these Euros are multiplying big time. So let me feed them and then I'm going to cover them up with some wet newspaper to control the fruit flies. Because it's been so crazy hot and humid down here. I don't know if that's what caused the problem, but I'm going to fix that problem easily. So give me a minute. Let me take care of business. Now it's time to spray it down with some water and defeat this little situation as of right now. So I'm thinking once I get my AC back up to running, I won't experience this problem again, because I haven't had this problem for a long time. Yep, I'm gonna have to do their castings as well. Let me go ahead and feed these Europeans as well. Some sloppy banana peels. Some eggshells for grit. Cover these food scraps up. Nothing's trying to get out. The bedding's a little bit dry. I'm going to add more moisture in it because there's a lot of cardboard in here. So let me feed them a couple more food scraps, some leftovers. Throw this in there. Some bananas that are frozen, thawed out. Some grit, some eggshells. Let me get some more, add some more water. Castings are looking good. I'm going to push stuff over to the side. All right. This top layer is kind of wet, but I am not going to give these bad boys any banana peels this time because fruit flies are really bad this year. I have a tightly sealed lid and they still get into the bin, or into the container, if you will. I'm going to give them some sorry about bumping that. Give them some tomatoes. And this is some stuff that I got from my father-in-law, so I don't know what's inside this ice cream bucket. But I'm going to give them, they're going to get some coffee grounds this time. It's still frozen, so I got to put some coffee in there like that. Don't really want to do too much to it because it's still frozen a little bit. But I'll throw, let me get some cardboard to put on top for a second. All right, I got some cardboard and newspaper that I got moist. I'm gonna set it right here. Set this on top right there. Cover this up. A cover sheet. First, let me bury it a little bit deeper. There, we'll do it like that. We'll do it just like that. You're just chilling. They're not really moving fast, but Just have the days. So now, let me put my cover sheet on. Get my sprayer and wet this down. And Spen's looking good. I gave him coffee. They're breeding like crazy. They got enough bedding in here for now. There's banana peel in there that they still have to consume. But it looks like it's not on their top 10 list as of for now. As of right now, if you will. Yeah, they're more active than my red wigglers for now. But I'm going to feed them a little extra food scraps. So I'm going to use this paper right here, my cover sheet. Put that right there. Grab my tomatoes and whatever else my father-in-law gave me. She goes, yeah, they're going to get more coffee. So I'm break them off something. Break them off a little something, something. Put these tomatoes in there. Break them off this. Stick this in there as well. Cover it up with some bedding. Look at the size of these. There's one right here, but he's going back in there. There's one here. But they're nice sized worms. See what's going on in there. This peat moss. So this right here, I'm gonna not really do too much. I'm just gonna add some food scraps on top of this peat moss and cover it up. Hopefully they don't get too cold. But here we go. Let me get some bedding. Put some bedding on top to help with this. These cold food scraps. There they go. And I put an insulation barrier on top of them. I'll stick this right here on top. Go get me a couple sheets of newspaper to cover it up. No worms trying to get out of the bin. Now, like, there they are. They're playing peekaboo. But I found them. I'm going to go ahead and give them some food scraps. Still some bedding that they can consume over here. So let me just move this over a little bit to the right side of my bin. What I'm going to do is pack them a little lunch. I got my newspaper right here. They're going to get a green pepper. A little bit of some green pepper. Ration it out, seeds and all, because I don't care if sprouts get in my bin, because that's going to be a food source for the worms. Give them a little orange pepper, a little with some mold on it, and give them some lettuce as well. So they got some lettuce as well. And that should be good to go. Let me fold it over. I'm going to wet it down with some water. They are in there. Get some of this bedding fluffed up because they need the bedding fluffed up. I noticed when you freeze and thaw out lettuce that it gets so small because it's basically water. So I thought it'd have like more food scraps with the nice head of lettuce, but I was wrong. Once I froze it, thawed it out. Let me give them some food scraps. All right, let me give them some food scraps as well. They get some lettuce, some of the pepper, and the banana. Stick it in the middle, cover it up once I get this wet. Got some worms on this side. I got some worms on this side. Just a few. But he's trying to move back down. There's a lot in here too. But I think they're trying to move around because it's peat moss. Once again, it's really dry. So let me give them some more moisture. And as you can see, like I said in previous videos, Northeast Worms has some fat euros. So what I'm going to do is feed them this pepper that I have right here. Put it on top of my piece of newspaper right here. Put the pepper on top and this extra moisture from the lettuce. So that will help with the moisture issues. Then I'm going to get my sprayer and spray it down with some more water, cover it up and call it good. I have a lot of cardboard that I'm going to put down to help out. But look at that. They were fed a couple days ago and there is a nice worm ball. But they're going to be even satisfied more when they get the watermelon. So let me get the cardboard set up. It's cardboard and shredded newspaper. That is there to help with all of the moisture from the watermelon. Is there anything going on in there? Yes, another worm ball in there. I want to let you guys and gals know that I started another worm bin. It has a mixture of my European night crawlers and red wigglers. You're probably thinking, AJ, I thought you didn't like to mix your worms. But I'm thinking, these guys came from my outdoor worm bin. They're going to be used for next year as a mixed breed only. And I want to see the results of what they can do, because I know outside they were doing a great job in my outdoor worm bin. So let's look inside and see what's going on for now. It's dry. Gonna need more paper. But I'm gonna add more to this and give them some more bedding as well. So I'm gonna do an update on this bin to see how they're doing. But here goes the worms from the outdoor worm bin that I'm going to add as well. So let me know your thoughts on having mixed worms in bins. Now, people have been asking me, which worm do I like best out of my red wigglers and European night crawlers? And I'm going to have to say, I really like the mixed worm bin with both breeds of species in it. So question for you viewers, what breed of worm do you prefer over the other one? Like I said, I really like the mixed worm bin the best. But I like the Euros because they're thick. And I also like my red wigglers because they can devour the food scraps as a colony. A common question is about feeding worms cardboard. And the question is, can you feed red wigglers and other composting worms cereal boxes? The answer to the question is, we were always told that you don't feed cereal boxes to worms because of the ink and stuff. But there are two other channels that I would recommend and encourage you to take a look at. That is London's Worms and Garden and Plant Obsessed. If you like her channel, give her a muddy thumbs up. But they feed their worm bins cereal boxes with no problems. So I'd have to say that myth is busted, because yes, they can eat cereal boxes. And what I'm gonna do in this bin, since all my worms are migrating over here and eating these food scraps, I'm going to give them a little extra food in this bin. I'm going to add some cardboard bedding as well. So let's see what I'm going to prepare them to eat today. They're going to get some banana peels, some extra banana peels, some peppers, some paper, and I'm going to cover this up with some wet cardboard. And like I said, I don't use only cardboard I use in my worm bins is corrugated cardboard. I don't use cereal boxes, but like I said, you can apply regular cereal boxes into the worm bin. And another good thing about cardboard in your bin, it helps to absorb the moisture. So if you're feeding them like something like such as watermelons, that will be a great addition to help absorb the moisture. The question is, do worms have teeth? And the worms that I have are red wigglers and European night crawlers. So that answer will be no. They don't bite, so you have nothing to worry about when it comes to raising red wigglers, European night crawlers, blue worms, or other type of composting worms. Now, the thing I don't mess with at all is leeches. AJ is definitely not a leech person. I think leeches are disgusting. So you don't have to worry about any type of composting worm biting you. If you're new to becoming a worm farmer, here's a question I need to ask you first. Where are you going to store your worm bin? You have to think about that, because if it's too tall, it won't fit underneath your sink. It might be too tall to fit underneath your bed or wherever you're going to keep it at. Or sometimes it might be too small that you won't have enough worms in it. But for me, I use an average about an 18-gallon tote. They're not real deep, and they're not too shallow. They're just about the right size for me. When it comes to bedding, if you're using totes, I would recommend, using about 4 to 6 inches of bedding to start out with. But you also have the worm towers, the 360s. They're the perfect size too. And how those work, you add food, keep removing your trays to the next level. But they say you can have the potential to add more, more shelves for more worms to keep migrating up. So that's something to look into. You got to think of the height, and you got to think about the weight, because worm castings do get heavy over the years. So in a perfect world, there's really no correct size to start with. People use 55-gallon drums cut in half. Some people use urban worm bags. But starting out, I would recommend and encourage you to start off small. And then when you gain more experience, upgrade to a larger size container. So that's just a quick tip. Here are a few other videos to check out about worms. If you like what you're hearing from me, subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like. I just want to take time out to say thank you for watching us. You have a great day. Bye.